This is PTFC Driven, presented by Toyota. I'm Nat Borchers. We are interviewing Portland Thorns and Portland Timbers players about adversity. In this installment, we interview Portland Timbers center back Laris Mabiala. Laris talks about the struggle fighting against relegation with two different Turkish clubs, Kayserispor and Karabükspor. Enjoy the chat with Laris. I wanted to walk through that season first, kind of catch us up to where you were in your career with Kayserispor up to that moment, and we can kind of talk about the season.
Yep. So I came from Karabükspor, where I had a decent season, even if we didn't reach the expectations. I ran out of my contract. My contract was over, and I didn't want to stay there. I didn't want to stay there because it was a very tough club to play for. I came from Nice, where I had it's like LA. Nice in France is like LA or Miami.
Right.
You have to see the sun every day. Life is just beautiful in Nice, and I landed in Karabük because I just wanted to play more. I came off an injury in Nice where I lost my spot in the first 11, so I had to fight every day. And at some point, I felt like it wasn't fair on what I could do when I was playing or show in training sessions, and the rewards wasn't there. So at some point, I was like, you know what, I just want to go to find something else. And many things happened in my personal life as well, a lot of things, and I just want to escape, try a new challenge, and see what I was made for.
Right.
So I went to Karabük, where I had 2.5 good seasons. It was tough in Karabük because the first season when I arrived, the club was in a very bad position, 11 points. The first team not to get relegated at 23, so we had to really win a lot of games. And at the end of the season, so I came mid-season, we ended up with 54 points. We basically won like almost every game in the second half of the season. That was a great part. The next season was tough. This is where I had the fight for the relegation game as well. And after that, I decided to just go to Karabük, to Kayseri, because life in Karabük was a village. That was so I came from 90 degrees every day to a city where it's not even on the map. You cannot find it on the map. That was a tough decision to make. But you know what? So far, I think this was the best decision of my life. Honestly, one of the maybe the best of my professional life. That was the best one because I've been challenged a lot. That was tough to go from what I used to have to what I found out there. And then, I just wanted to see of what I was made of.
Right. So you go from Nice, the beautiful city like LA, to Turkey. You're playing Karabükspor, and then Kayserispor. It was like a village. That was the place where it was difficult.
Karabük was a village. Karabük was a village. Karabük, I decided to move out to Kayseri because I just wanted to leave the club where I was.
Right.
And I turned down the prolongation offer, and I went to Kayseri, which was more where I wanted to be.
Sure. So when you arrived there, you spent, it looked like 3 seasons in Kaiser. And what would you say you liked most about being at that club?
Kayseri?
Yeah.
They gave me a lot of responsibilities.
Okay.
I had a lot of responsibilities. So when I arrived, Kayseri got promoted from the second division.
Okay.
They got promoted from the second division. The coach that made me come to Karabük signed to Kayseri. And when he found out that I was free, he just jumped on the opportunity to make me sign out there. It was a person that I loved a lot because he's one of the one of the first coaches who gave me so much responsibilities as well when I was in Caribbean. So gave me for the first time the armband. And when I signed in Kayseri, I knew that I would be in good hands. But as well, he's a very tough coach, so nothing is granted for him. And that was I wanted. I wanted to come to the training sessions every day, and trying to get better every day, and fight for the club.
So you had more responsibility with the club. You're wearing the armband. You're being challenged. So you were obviously a leader on this team, which is what is going to be important about the rest of the story, I think. Can you tell us about that season where you ended up having this relegation fight?
So the season started very well, to be honest. We won like the first 5 games in a row, and then this is when it became to be tough. So when I arrived there, he didn't give me the armband straight. I wasn't there, but I was one of the leader of the team.
Okay.
So it became very difficult. So in Turkey, when you don't get the results, this is when you start having problem with your salaries. You
Right.
don't get paid. You don't get your money. You don't get anything. And the more you don't get paid, the more the players are just disconnected. They don't want to play anymore. So this is just a circle.
Right.
And going through that, we kind of found ourselves again in the middle of the season where we could win like 2 to 3 games in a 6 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And after that, we knew that we were in the bottom of the tables, and we would have to fight. Yep. And this is what happened because we couldn't win any more games. We were not getting paid anymore, and this is where things got very, very complicated.
Right. So you have a situation where players are checking out because they're not getting their full salaries. They're not getting the bonuses because they're not winning.
No. You don't get your salaries. Yeah. You don't get your
salaries even.
No salaries. And they will pay you the bonuses. So they will come. So the president will come and say, "Yo, you know what? This game is very important. I put X amount on the table. You win this game, you have this.
Sure.
Tuesday on your bank account."
Right.
This is how it works in Turkey.
Yeah.
And,
okay.
If you cannot win, so you don't get either salary or bonus.
They're just saying, "Hey, man, you guys aren't performing. We're not giving you what would be in your contract, anyways." That's incredible. So you're suffering. You're literally suffering, from not getting results, but financially you're suffering as well. So once you get to that point in time where you get to that relegation game, can you kind of talk about what it was like in the locker room at that moment in time?
There's no more motivation. That's the thing, that the motivation wasn't there anymore. And the motivation is just that what makes everything. Mm-hmm. If you don't have any motivation, you won't be able to perform. You won't be even able to come to the training sessions every day.
Right.
So this is what we had to face for the last 10 weeks.
Mm-hmm. And how were you as a leader keeping yourself positive first, and then being able to keep the rest of the players, going in the same direction?
The funniest thing is, I was one of the fewest foreigners in the team, but I understood the way presidents and the clubs used to work. Mm-hmm. I was like, if at the end of the season you just able to stay in the league, not getting relegated, you will get your money. Mm-hmm. No matter what, you will get your money. It's going to take 1 to maximum 2 months. At least before next season start, you will get your money back. Mm-hmm. So this is what I try to make people my teammates understand.
Sure.
And it wasn't easy.
And
so yeah, I used to go to talk to the sporting director and president. And the thing is, they lie to you because they would be like, you know what, I'm going to pay you tomorrow. Check out tomorrow. There's not tomorrow, the day after. And
Right.
every day it was the same. So can you imagine that they tell you the same thing all year, almost?
Sure. But you knew that if you guys were able to hang in there, not get relegated, stay up, that you would get your money. And that's
You
what
get
you
your
were
money.
trying to tell your group. Now, tell us the competition, the team you played in that relegation game. They weren't just any other team, right? They were a big rival.
They were a big rival. It was a team who was a city who was like, I'd say 25 miles away from Kayseri.
Okay.
The name of the city is Sivas. You
Mhm.
have Sivas, who's 25 miles away from Kayseri.
Mhm.
And they are like big rivals. You know how Turkish people are. You can see them in the stadiums and
Yeah.
Champions League and European games. So
Yeah.
this is that was crazy. It was a very, very tough game. We were lucky to play this game at home, though.
So you had the home game. And I remember you telling me that when the coach was going to select the team, there were some players that weren't quite sure whether they wanted to play. Is that correct? And you could kind
Yeah,
of see it?
that was yeah. I had this case in Karabic. That
Oh,
was
you
in
did.
Karabic,
Okay, that was in
Karabic
Canada.
game.
Yeah.
Yes. So you have, but I'm pretty sure that it happened as well when I was in Kaiser. So the coach take all the players. So it's like 27 players. You can have only 18 players on the list. And he comes and he calls some guys to tell them that, you know what, today you're not in the squad. And I remember my roommate, because you stay in, we stayed in a hotel and all that. My roommate came back, he wasn't in the squad. And he felt like so like free. He came back, he packed his stuff. He was like, you know what? I'm not in the squad, man. Like, good luck. It's gonna be a tough one. Good luck.
Oh, he was out. He didn't even care.
Yeah, he was out. Like he was out. He was like, I'll be in the stands, man. But
Yeah.
I'm
But
happy to not be on the field.
but you wanted the pressure, right? You wanted that leadership role. You wanted to be in the game, right? Because that was your
Honestly,
mentality.
I didn't want that leadership role. I just wanted to be a part of the game because this kind of feeling just make me feel better.
Yeah.
The more pressure there is,
Yeah.
the better I feel. And I really wanted to be on the field. There was no way for me to react like this guy.
Right. And that's obviously the difference, right, between someone who is a fighter, right, and someone who's maybe not as much of a fighter. And would you say that's more down to your mentality, and how would you say that you're able to keep that mentality?
I'm always trying to prove to myself that at least you can be not as technique as the most technical guy in the world, or you cannot be like have the endurance of the most endurance guy in the world, but at least you have some hurt, and that can make all the difference in those key moments. And this is me, like I know that I'm not the most technical guy, but I know that if you want to go to, I want to be remembered as this kind of guy. Like if you have to go to a war, I want you to be able to trust me, and I won't fail you in this step.
Yeah, that's what a great leader should think like, and obviously that's what captains think like. And yeah, I'd be following you into battle, man. Definitely. I was curious the result of the game. How did everything go when you end up playing against your big rival in a game where everything's on the line?
Yeah, I would say like almost sometimes for some people their life is on the line.
Yeah.
Yeah, for some people, their life is on the line. I used to play some games like that in Africa when I used to play with the national team.
Mm-hmm.
And it's some kind of pressure where if you play bad or if you lose at home, they will go to your parents' house and just burn the house down. Is
Crazy. Yeah.
I grew up like that. So,
yeah.
But we won that game 1-0. Sorry, we won that game 1-0. But that was hard. That was tough.
That's incredible, man. I mean, and it's such an amazing story when it comes down to really the start to finish for you guys, and knowing that you had to basically fight your own teammates in some ways. You had to fight your technical director, your president, for the money. You had to, fight your own battles on the field as well to help get you to that point. And did you end up getting the money at the end of the season?
Oh yeah, I don't get the money.
Yeah.
You have sometimes you have some mortgage, you help up your family. I have people who depend on me, so I couldn't afford to not get my money or to just let this game go, because I knew that I still play. I still know some guys. So I left Kaiser in 2017 when I joined the Timbers. They are still looking for their money.
Wow, unbelievable. And what would you say is your biggest takeaway from playing in these relegation games and having to to have that those experiences as a professional?
Honestly, these are some kind of the best feeling you can have, because this is where you will really find out who you are. That's the only thing, I've seen some guys running away from that, and I've seen some guys just getting ready and fight for what they want to achieve and to get. So this is my biggest takeaway. At least right now, I know that I'm able to fight for any circumstances.
Laris Mabiala, incredible story. Really appreciate you being with us today, and can't wait for the season to resume again and see you back on the pitch and fighting for the Timbers. Thank you so much.
Thank you, man. Thank you.